It's just after 4 o'clock in the morning, inside a quiet church in Midlothian, Texas. Everything should be still, silent, untouched. But it isn't, because, captured on grainy black and white CCTV footage, a figure appears. They're dressed, head to toe, in full tactical gear, helmet, gloves, heavy vest, even what looks like police markings. At first glance, you might think it's a law enforcement officer, but something feels off. The way they move, it's not confident, not trained, not precise. Instead, it's slow, almost careless. Their feet drag slightly, their legs swing outward, creating this strange, unsettling, waddling motion, like they're wearing gear that doesn't quite fit, or like they're trying to imitate something they don't fully understand. They walk through the church halls, not with urgency, but with curiosity, almost like they're exploring. At one point, they casually try a door, locked, so they move on, then another, no rush, no panic, just wandering. But then, they pick up a tool and smash a window. Glass shatters, echoing through the empty building. And yet, they don't run. They don't even look alarmed. They just keep moving, like they know no one else is there. At least, not yet. Before we go any further, you need to know who this story is really about. Her name was Missy Bevers. She was 45 years old, a wife, a mother of 3, and someone who, by all accounts, radiated energy. Missy wasn't just into fitness, she lived it. She was a Camp Gladiator instructor, which is a high-intensity group fitness program, kind of like a boot camp. But to her clients, it was more than just a workout, it was a community. And Missy was at the center of it. She motivated people, pushed them, encouraged them. Rain or shine, early mornings, late nights, she showed up. And because of that, people trusted her, looked up to her, loved her. Her classes were often held outdoors, in parks, parking lots, wherever there was space. But on April 18th, 2016, a storm was rolling in. So Missy made a decision. She moved her early morning class, indoors, to Creekside Church of Christ in Midlothian, Texas. Class was scheduled for 5 a.m., which meant Missy would arrive early, to set up, to prepare, to do what she always did, show up before anyone else. That night, the sky was restless. Heavy clouds rolled in, thick and low. The air smelled like rain, that metallic, electric scent that comes just before a storm breaks. By midnight, the rain had started, slow at first, then heavier, until it became a steady downpour. Lightning flashed across the sky, lighting up the streets in brief, blinding bursts. Thunder followed, deep and rumbling, shaking the quiet town. By 3 a.m., most people were asleep, tucked away from the storm. But inside the church, something else was happening. The figure in tactical gear was already inside, moving through the halls, breaking glass, opening doors, waiting, and at around 4:18 a.m., Missy Bevers pulled into the church parking lot, rain hitting her windshield, wipers moving back and forth. She probably thought about her class, about the people who would show up, about the workout she had planned. She had no idea. She was walking into something. That had already begun. Now, we need to slow down, because this part is everything. Investigators and millions of people online have watched this footage over and over and over again, trying to answer one question: who is this person? The footage begins with the suspect walking down a hallway. They're holding what appears to be a hammer or pry tool. Their helmet visor is down, hiding their face completely. Their body is covered, no skin visible, but their movement, that's where things get interesting. They don't walk like a trained officer. There's no urgency, no structure. Instead, their steps are uneven. Their feet point outward slightly, and their hips sway just a little more than expected. It creates this odd, waddling gait. Some people have described it as almost feminine. Others say it could just be the weight of the gear, or even an injury, but it stands out because it's not normal. Then they approach a set of doors. They push them open, slowly, peek inside, empty. They move on. At one point, they stop at a window. They raise the tool and smash it. Glass explodes outward, shards falling to the ground. But again, no panic, no rush, just calm, almost like they're killing time. They walk into another room, open cabinets, look around. They don't take anything. They don't search for valuables. They're not stealing. They're not hiding. They're just there. And that's what makes it so unsettling. Because it doesn't look like a burglary. It doesn't look like random vandalism. It looks like they're waiting. Then there's the pacing. They move slowly, deliberately, from one part of the church to another, trying doors, breaking glass, wandering, and the timeline matters because they're inside for nearly 30 minutes before Missy arrives, which means this wasn't random. They didn't just stumble into the building. They came prepared, dressed in disguise, with tools and time. Now, let's talk about the gear. The outfit looks like SWAT or police tactical gear, but investigators later confirmed it was likely fake, costume-like, something you could buy online. Which raises another question. Why go through all that effort? Why dress like law enforcement? Some believe it was to confuse witnesses. Others think it was meant to delay identification, because if someone saw them, they might assume it was a cop and not question it. Then there's the size. Based on door frames and objects in the footage, investigators estimated the suspect was around 5 feet 2 inches to 5 feet 8 inches, not particularly tall, and the build, not bulky, despite the gear, which led to another theory. What if the suspect was a woman? It sounds unlikely at first, but the gait, the height, the proportions, they all leave that possibility open. And even today, experts still debate it. But the most chilling part of the footage isn't what the suspect does. It's what they don't do. They don't act nervous. They don't act rushed. They don't act like they're afraid of getting caught. It's almost like they know exactly what's about to happen, and they're just waiting for it. At around 4:18 a.m., Missy enters the building, the rain still falling outside, thunder in the distance, lightning flashing through the windows. Inside, it's quiet, too quiet. Somewhere in that building, the figure is still there, moving through the halls, and within minutes, Missy is attacked. The exact details have never been released publicly, but we know it was violent and it was fatal. By 5 a.m., members of her fitness class begin to arrive. They notice something strange: broken glass, an open door, and then they find Missy, unresponsive. Emergency services are called, but it's too late. Missy Bevers is pronounced dead at the scene. From the very beginning, this case puzzled investigators. There were no clear signs of forced entry before the suspect arrived, no obvious motive, no stolen items, and the suspect's identity completely hidden. But then a clue emerged, just hours before the murder. A silver Nissan Altima was seen driving slowly through the church parking lot. It wasn't speeding. It wasn't parking. It was just circling, almost like it was scouting the area. Police released footage of the vehicle, hoping someone would recognize it, but no one came forward. Then, another detail surfaced. In the weeks leading up to her death, Missy had received a series of strange LinkedIn messages. They were described as creepy and unsettling. The sender's identity was never fully confirmed publicly, but investigators looked into it. Was it a stalker? Someone obsessed with her? Or was it unrelated? To this day, that question remains unanswered. Police conducted hundreds of interviews, checked alibis, analyzed the footage frame by frame, but nothing led to a definitive suspect. And slowly, the case went cold. When a case has no clear answers, theories begin to fill the gaps. And in this case, there are many. Theory 1, a professional hit. Some believe this was a targeted killing, planned in advance. The disguise, the timing, the lack of panic. It all suggests someone who knew what they were doing. But if it was a professional, why the strange behavior? Why wander around? Why break random windows? It doesn't fit the profile. Theory 2, someone she knew. This is one of the most common theories, that the killer knew Missy, knew her schedule, knew she'd be there early, and used that knowledge to set a trap. The disguise would make sense, hide your identity, create confusion. But again, the behavior in the footage feels too sloppy, too strange. Theory 3, a woman. This theory comes almost entirely from the gait, the way the suspect walks, the hip movement, the stride. Some experts say it could indicate a female suspect. If true, it would explain the smaller frame, but without DNA or a face, it remains speculation. Theory 4, a random encounter gone wrong. Some believe the suspect didn't go there for Missy. They were already inside, planning a burglary or vandalism. And when Missy arrived, things escalated. But this theory has a problem. The suspect was there, too early, too prepared, too intentional. It doesn't feel random. Closing today, years later, the case of Missy Bevers remains unsolved. The footage still circulates online. People still analyze it, frame by frame, looking for something, anything, that might reveal the truth. But the figure in the hallway still has no name, no face, no identity, just that strange, unsettling, waddling walk, echoing through the empty halls of a church in the middle of a storm at 4 o'clock in the morning. And somewhere out there, the person behind that mask knows exactly what happened, but for now, they're still out there, unseen, unknown, and unanswered.